Then what we are going to do is this part, we still need to have a container with 2 columns. Let's do that right away. So we have a container, we want 2 columns. Then here we have 2 parts, basically is 50-50. So we make it 50-50. Let's reduce the gutters, so let's make it 0 right now, so it looks like this. And now we need this to be an image, so we will grab an image right in here. Yep, and this, okay, a zip. This looks pretty weird, right? Let's make the width to be edge to edge, and height is auto. Now we do this part. This part is 64 and 80. So one thing about card is there's no container inside container, so we can't drag a container inside this container. It's not working, so we have to be strategic about this one. So now we need to do the vertical padding first. It's 64, which is for RAM. So we click on the container and we want padding to be 4 RAM. Okay, oh, this is horizontal. Padding to be 4 RAM. Okay, you started to see some weird stuff, right? That's because this image is set to max. Let's try to add. Let's see right here that we need 1, 2, 3 and a button. Text element here, another text element, or you could just duplicate, and then we need a button. It's right here. We will change it later. But now we have vertical padding that is 64 and this is 80. 80 padding, it's 5 frames, so 5 RAM. Okay. So now we have this, but this is doesn't changing because the padding is affect to the entire container. So if this set to the max, then you can see the padding. It's applying right here. So for this part of the spacing, we need to use gutter. So we need apply gutter in this place, and this gutter we want it to be 80, but gutter is actually divided by both sides. So if we apply 80, then this side could only use 40. I hope this makes sense to you. You could try it on your own. Like if we apply 5 right here, this could only get 2.5. Let's try it and see how different it is. If it is to the max, you can see the gap between this part and this part is 80, so this looks familiar. But when this is set to edge, it will take to the 2.5 RAM of its proportion, so like this. So this part became narrower. So instead of using 5 gutter, we need to double it, make it 10, the way that we want. Okay, hope this makes sense. Then we are going to do this one, SaaS platform. Let's change the content first. Then this one is the project name. And we want this description. And then we want a button, view project. Okay, we have the text updated. Then we are going to style that. Let's style this one. The brand color. Okay, and let's do the colors first. I think these two is style. Okay, this one is secondary. Alrighty. And we will do button next. And let's see about the typography style. So Open Sans 16, 7%, 1.17 semi-bold. Let's make the appearance to be uppercase, and then size is 1 rem, semi-bold, and I think 1.1. Great. and we're going to do this one. So this one is 32 1.1 Crimson Pro semi-bold. Okay, Crimson Pro. This one 32 semi-bold and 1.5. Okay, so the text style is already set. Then we are going to fix the alignment. Now the alignment is on the bottom, so let's change it to be the top. Then next thing we are going to do is this one have 12 spacing, so we want the element in this place have 12 spacing. So we click on the container and spacing is 0.75, which is the right one, so we're not going to change that. But apparently that this view project is a bit too closer, since that this needs 24 in this place, and for this one have another 24, which means that this spacing needs to be 48. Let's style this button first. So let's make this alignment right. Make it on the left. Great. Then let's try this one. 18, 1.1 and 7%. Click on button, and appearance is uppercase, and this one is 7%. And semi-bold seems a bit much. I think for this one on the web I would took it as medium, and let's see if we need to change it later. Now I think the color is round because our primary color is great. Okay, now we can do the size, the height. We make this width as a auto, like hot content in the Figma file. This 52.25. Okay. Yeah, let's back to the spacing. So we need these two to be 48 pixel, which is 3 rem. Now we only have 0.75 rem in between the elements. It's defined by the container level. And since there's no container inside the container, we have to be more creative on this. As the margin, make it 3 and see how it works. Okay, it works. And what about I don't do this margin? Let's make it auto. Okay, I think that's what I want. So we put the margin all on this bottom side, so you push back, so it create a nice gap between these three elements grouping together. Alright, so now what we are going to do is this background. So we have block green, we have to click on container, select background color, pass it. Okay, so in the Figma file and the building environment, it looks a bit different, since right here it actually looks balanced, and this is the alignment on the top, but this doesn't look like balance. This part doesn't align with this. So normally I would do a few changes, either that you could increase the content to make it a little bit more, so it will look like you are having a balanced alignment. Or if you don't want to change the content, then you can change the alignment by click on the container. Then we change it to the center. Then it will look like much more balanced. Okay, so next things we are going to build out the path 3 blocks, it all has a similar layout. And for the first thing that I wanted to do is create style. So these share the same style, and these three. So let's create it first. So now this one, we create this style, add style as a, we can call it project category. Okay, project kit. For this one, we are calling it project title. Okay, let's have a style. And we add the project description. Okay, and this is a button. Nice and simple. Great. Now what we can do, we could duplicate this container, duplicate this one. Okay, then we are going to change it, the content right in here, grab it. Okay, now we need to change this one, so we will change this to this image. Let's have a look. Change this one, accept. Okay, now this one, the background needs to be changed, so let's change this to color as a black pink, so it's this one. Alright, so this looks pretty nice. And as for the content, I'm not going to change it. You can change it on your own. What I'm going to do is make this seamless together like this one. Why do we have this space? Because we make it on our page level. Still remember that our page level have a spacing that is 5 frames. So what we are going to do is change that. So this part, we are going to click on the container. So for the container, it actually define the top margin and bottom margin, and let's make it 0. So this is not working, and that's because that for this container, its top margin is still auto, which inherent to the page level and 5 frames. So we also make it as 0, and we'll close together, and that's done. So yeah, this is how we build this block. And then we are going to build our second block, which is the same as these two. So I'm going to duplicate that, and also that I want it to be a style. So this is row 1, and make this container a row 2. Okay, now we are going to duplicate those cute little baby, and it's this one. Then let's duplicate. Okay, we are done. Then we're going to move it around. Let's see this. Okay, so that's how we build. And I'm not going to change the image, so you could change it on your own. And there's nothing more to show about this place, so let's go this part finished. I realized that since this is a square page, that we are using it in the container, and remember that we make it edge to edge, which is a square right now, and our height for this container is set to auto. So it means that how big is this image, then the how tall is our container. And I just realized that this isn't a square, so we have to contain our container height in here, and which is 465. It's around 29 rem, so I'm going to change this to 29 rem. And it apparently is not working very well, so let's try if I could change that. Okay, I think this means more respect to what we want, so it's a full bleed, so let's make it full bleed as well. Okay, this looks nice, but it seems like it's not in the right moment. So I defined this as 29, but I forgot to define the row 2 is as 25. So right now the auto is set to the padding that we have for our text. So if you happen to have the same text format, let's say it is 2 lines and 3 lines right here, then yes, you could set it auto, then it will appear that the same height. But since we are going to do responsive design, so the text will flow, then which means that this part will become not even. So I would still suggest you took the height. Okay, then everything looks much more balanced. So since it is already used the same classes, so it's pretty good. And let's check the image. I think the image is a different class and we didn't set that, so let's do that. Okay, I like to do this as much more functional because image has different. If I use project image, that could be another behavior in the project role, and so I'm going to just make it very functional right here. So this is full bleed. I'll make it full bleed, and full bleed. Okay, so I think this one isn't right. The margin should set back to auto. Okay, yep, this is the way I wanted it. Auto. Yep, okay.